Good morning. So great to, almost see you. Here we are. What is your vision of aging? Have you thought about what you need, what you want your vision of aging to look like? It's more than just planning for your retirement. It's really thinking about where you want to be, who you want to be with, and what you think might make you happy. In fact, that's the whole purpose of the show. It's called Visionary Aging. I'm Mary Winters. I'm a gerontologist and the owner of About Senior Solutions, and we provide solutions for people really from middle age on to support them and guide them with their dream of what their vision is. So today we're going to have probably maybe a quicker show, but I want to really talk about some of these things, these tools. This is the whole purpose I put the program together, was just to fill you with resources and maybe just get the ideas flowing so that you think about it and what you want and what you don't want. That's just as important. So I'm going to bring Steve McCullough on, and he has a caregiver question for us. I know that it has a flow to our Visionary Aging program today, but let me go ahead and bring Steve in and see what question he has. Morning, Steve.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you? What kind of question do we have today? Well, I know,
but we have a very good question. It comes from one of our viewers. They say that they have no family, and that their friends, their peers, are as old as they are, and so they want to know what they should do, who they should contact to find someone to care for them, look after them as they get into their older years. So how do you find someone that will be that caretaker or planner for them?
I know, coming from a big family, I never thought about this until I started working in the senior care industry. And there's so many people, I call it who's your person. And there's so many people who don't have a person. So a couple things, see what organizations are you part of? Are you part of a faith-based group? Are you part of any associations? Talk with them about what types of services or support that they might have within their groups. The other thing is looking at private fiduciaries. You can go on in California, they're all licensed. Not every state is, but they are licensed. There's an organization called PFAC, Professional Fiduciaries of California, Association of California, and they are licensed and can actually step in for you in that role should you need a person to help you make decisions. And you can give them a healthcare directive as well as a power of attorney. So there are 4 basic estate planning documents, and maybe you don't need all of them, but likely if you have property in California, you need a trust. And that's where you set your home into that trust. You avoid probate, and it's much easier to deal with. It's less expensive, less taxing for a family, especially if you have family members you're leaving a piece of property to, or it can be easily transferred in the event that it needed to be sold for your care too. But that said, you want somebody who has that golden ticket, who's really going to make decisions that you want. So those are things you need to really think about, plan out, discuss, talk with a professional. There are also trustees at banks who can manage financial matters for you, and you can have a separate person for your individual healthcare decisions. So there are a few different things that way that people can do. And honestly, there's quite a few things that we're doing within our office. We are not fiduciaries, we are care managers, and we have people coming in their 60s, 70s, before they have any health issues, and they're asking us to create that visionary plan, support their visionary plan, and track it so that we know who their doctors are, we know what their medications are, we know what their medical conditions are, we know what their likes and dislikes are. And we have conversations with them throughout the year, depending on how often they wanted to get together. And we continue to document those things for them so that in an emergency, and they do have a person, so we can't be their person, but we can support their person. So it's
Right.
often a daughter who's out of state, or a very busy son who lives nearby, or vice versa. And we set them up with all that information, and their loved one may know some of that or have just as much of that information. But because we know the healthcare system, we can guide them through very accurately and with a lot of support, and cutting out a lot of the red tape and a lot of the time that people go
Sure.
through just agonizing through what their loved one might need. So we're there to support them. We're there to just to keep that information. And then of course we have our regular care management, which helps us, or which allows us to provide very intensive service, attend at doctor's appointments, communicate with other professionals so that we can come to decisions that are something that is in agreement, or something that will serve and support the senior that we're also helping, or that we are helping. It's the primary person that we're helping.
Right.
So there are all kinds of really wonderful tools and support systems. There are things within counties and states and so forth too, as far as extra services and support. But to really avoid that Band-Aid and putting a plan together is really helpful. In fact, if you don't mind, I think I'll go ahead and look for our Care Compass wheel. Here's our Care Compass.
Mhm.
So I created this model so that when we look at what somebody needs, we start with their wishes, and then what is going to keep them safe, and what is their financial situation. So the arrow around the outer edge represents how things change over time. So what you need as a younger person is not going to be the same thing as it is when you're an older person, or you have a move, or you have a knee replacement or something that way. So these things change constantly, and they need to be reviewed pretty regularly in regards to what you might need for support. But it's a great tool because it really helps to develop a plan easily and say, with these things, we can put your best interests together and make that happen, with resources. In working with your team, you might have a CPA, financial planners are often involved in communicating with us about what should we do for our mutual client. So in attorneys, but it's really it's kind of fun to like sit down and actually look at, this is what will help form your plan. So I encourage you to
Right.
reach out to us, and we'll make that available to you or to your attorney or whoever it makes sense with. So I
Excellent.
hope that answered our viewers, our person's question. So let me go ahead. We'll go quickly over to a birthday, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about a day at sports. How's that?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. It is Miss Gloria's birthday. She's from North Carolina. And I love the top that she selected because it matches so beautifully with those rhododendrons behind her. And those are very special rhododendrons. She planted them almost 50 years ago in the home that she and her, well, mostly her husband built, but they built this fabulous home in the 70s. And she loves her rhododendrons. And I think she looks beautiful. She just looks so lovely. So I hope, Gloria, Ms. Stanger, that you have a fabulous, fabulous birthday and many, many more. And let's get back to, I'm going to give you a little quick commercial break too, and share a little bit about our life enhancement program. So let me share that with you now. So we have a life enhancement program, and hey, Steve, how are you? We have a life enhancement program, and we would love to come out and meet with you or your loved one and see if there's something that we can do to really build up their life. We are providing programming in boarding cares right now virtually, which is super exciting, and we'll share more of that as things kind of unfold. But if you have a loved one in boarding care, especially, or someone at home that you think could benefit on a one-to-one basis with some activities, we have our coaches that will come right to you and set that up. So anyway, give us a call. Steve, what's the day in sports today? Or what happened in sports today?
The U.S. Open is being played, so there's all kinds of nice history about winners, men's and women's, and double winners. But the day I picked was 1985, and the city was Chicago. It was the friendly confines, Wrigley Field, and Pete Rose tied Ty Cobb's record for most career hits at 4,191. He had a hit against Reggie Patterson of the Cubs. Pete Rose went on to have 4,256 career hits. Greatest baseball hitter, arguably, of all time. And for those baseball fans out there, they know that he is not in the Hall of Fame. So Pete Rose, whose nickname was Charlie Hustle, had a little hustle going on the side and got caught for betting on games. And the allegations where he actually became a manager after the playing career was over, and he bet on games that pertained to his team. So
test, not naughty.
Yes, and for baseball,
he did it. He did perform. He did. He was a great hitter, that's for sure.
He was a great hitter, and like I said, his nickname was Charlie Hustle. He was known when he would walk. A lot of people would walk. You get a free base, and they would walk to first base, and he was known to run to first base when he walked, and so that's how he got the nickname Charlie Hustle. So he was quite the ball player. Yeah,
that's great. Well, let's look at what day it is on the perk. You can get this for free. Just reach out to Ginny, and she'll get one out to you for free. But today is National Star Trek Day.
Oh no.
And I like this phrase from Abraham Lincoln: I destroy my enemies when I make them my friends. Lots of neat little things, great little conversation starter, something that we'll send over to you for free. You can print that out, bring it to your loved one, or just have fun with it yourself, or bring it to your classroom. Or we also have a daily word search. So beam me up, Scotty. We have all these words that are set up here so that you can do a search. And here's the answer for yesterday. So in any event, enjoy that. We would love to get that to you. So just give us a call or reach out to Ginny at About Senior Solutions, and we will get that out to you for free. I think we can go ahead, and we're going to have a quick show today. How's that?
I have a quick question for you. And sure. I don't want to put you on the spot, but as we are getting into quarter four, coming up on quarter four of the year, are there new laws that you know of that are going to impact seniors, either like assisted housing or anything like that that's on the books for?
Well, that's an interesting question. And just right off the top, there are several things, and we could talk about it on another program. There are things that will be active into next year, but have not started yet. But one of the things that we're seeing a lot, so as a commissioner, I go in and we do talk about some of the new issues that are coming up. And some of the things that are happening pretty rapidly are kind of the scare tactics that some of these large corporate apartment owners are doing, and it's trying to get people out of the buildings. In particular, it's older women. And when they don't have an association with any of the other people in the building, they just kind of crumble up, not sure what to do, and kind of walk through the process, or I don't know what's happening with many of these women, other than homelessness for seniors is increasing exponentially, which is frightening. And so with that said, there are new mandates, there are laws in place that, especially in Pasadena, there's a Measure H, and it prevents a landlord from just moving somebody out. In particular, if it's an older adult, they have 1 year to move. But let me go back a little bit too. You can't just move somebody out of a building because you want to remove them. Um, and there have to be certain permits in place before somebody can do that. And there also has to be a time frame of at least a year for someone to be able to move once that landlord gets that permit. So I would say if you have received some kind of a notice from a landlord, you need to try to get your community and your apartment building together. Many people are forming associations, and with that, they are able to stay in their buildings. They've had some success in preventing the landlord from eliminating anyone from the building. This is happening in the county of Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, and cities all over California. It's it, an association is quite powerful. Otherwise, I would also recommend you to reach out to their newly forming tenant boards within your city. Some of them do not have these boards yet, but if you can reach out to those, reach out to your cities. I can't say that the city government's going to do a whole lot or county government's going to do a whole lot for you, with the exception of the fact that they may have some of these like tenant organizations that they can refer you to. So don't let them bully you. Let's reduce homelessness for seniors. Housing in California in particular, as you know, is just crazy right now. And we need to protect people. So within, I've heard all kinds of things as far as some of these people being ousted from their homes, and people are making comments like, how entitled do they think they are? And, oh, they're getting these big settlements. But if you have somebody on a fixed income and they're used to paying, I don't know, let's just say $1,500 a month in their rent for even numbers, and they go out to find something new that's equivalent for $3,000.
Right.
That's not going to go very far when your Social Security is maybe less than $2,000.
Right.
So very, very challenging for people. Very challenging for people.
It's tough times.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a great question. We can talk more about some of those things that are coming up and that will be enforced. New things with supported decision making came out this year. People could just call if they have questions, 626-359-0108, and we can give them some more information on some of those new laws and things to support people.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All righty, my friend. Well, you have a great weekend. And
you too. Be safe. Stay cool.
You too. And I'm heading out to a USC gerontology conference right now. So maybe we'll have some great stuff to share on that afterwards.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Great show.
Thanks.